Welcome to The Explainer. You know, in today's world, building a winning online platform is, well, it's more complex than ever. And that's especially true in a market as crazy competitive as real estate. So, how do you actually build a platform that's not just working today, but is ready for whatever comes next? Today, we're going to walk through the digital blueprint for a truly state-of-the-art real estate platform. We'll start with what the market demands, then get into the architectural foundation, the back-end engine that powers it, the user experience that people see, and finally, the data strategy that holds the whole thing together. All right, let's just dive right in. To really get this, we first have to understand the challenge. The modern real estate market requires a platform that does so much more than just show you a list of properties. The stakes are just incredibly high. So what does it actually take to win? Well, it is no longer enough to just show pretty pictures of houses. The platforms that are absolutely crushing it are the ones that deliver an intelligent, totally seamless, and, you guessed it, lightning-fast experience. They have to be these incredible tools for everyone involved: buyers, sellers, and agents, tying everything together from a dynamic search to really smart customer support. Really, success comes down to these 5 interconnected pillars. You've got to have the scalability to handle huge spikes in traffic, peak performance for speedy interactions, a user experience that just feels right, smart AI integration, and, of course, rock-solid security. If you mess up even one of these, the whole structure starts to feel wobbly. Okay, so now let's get to the fun part and see how we actually build a strong foundation. You see, the architectural patterns you pick at the very beginning are what give your platform the flexibility and the muscle to grow and adapt for years to come. The first huge idea here is microservices. And honestly, the best way to think about this is like you're building with specialized high-tech Lego blocks instead of one single, giant, unmovable piece of concrete. Every single function, like user accounts, property search, or even the company blog, is its own independent block. And this right here makes the difference crystal clear. With the traditional monolithic app, if one little part fails, the whole system can come crashing down. But with microservices, a failure is totally isolated. What's even better, though, is you can scale only the parts that need it. So if your property search is getting hammered with traffic, you can just boost its power without ever touching the blog or the user profile services. It's just smarter and way more efficient. Now, the perfect partner to microservices is something called serverless computing. I know this doesn't literally mean there are no servers. It just means you, the developer, don't have to worry about managing them. The cloud provider, think AWS or Google Cloud, they handle all the infrastructure, all the scaling, and all the maintenance for you. It's amazing. And that's really the main takeaway here. This combination is the gold standard. You've got real-world platforms like HomeGate AG that use this exact approach to rebuild their systems, and the result was faster development and serious cost savings. It lets a business focus on what it does best, creating awesome features, not on managing a bunch of servers. Okay, let's head down to the engine room and check out the back-end tech. This is the stuff that powers all the business logic, the data processing, and all the communication with the databases. It's literally what makes everything work behind the curtain. So a huge strategic trend in modern development is to go for what are called batteries-included frameworks. The idea is, instead of building common things like user authentication or security features from scratch every single time, these frameworks just give them to you right out of the box. It saves a ton of time and, frankly, makes the whole application way more secure. What's so interesting here is the strategic choice you have to make. You've got Django, which is famous for that batteries-included style that helps you build securely and fast. Then you have Nest.js, which gives you the super-structured enterprise-level environment. And of course, there's Node.js with Express for just raw performance, perfect for real-time features. For a platform that really needs speed and security built in, Django or Nest.js often end up being the top contenders. All right, our engine is humming. So now it's time to build that beautiful and functional facade. You know, the part of the platform that people actually see and touch. And this part has to be fast, it has to be responsive, and it has to be super engaging. For a real estate platform, there are 2 techniques that are just absolutely non-negotiable: server-side rendering and static site generation. Now, what these do is make sure that pages load almost instantly and are super easy for search engines like Google to find. In this business, slow load times and bad SEO literally mean lost customers. So these technical choices are actually critical business decisions. This brings us to another key decision. So while React gives you incredible flexibility and Angular is a total powerhouse for massive apps, Next.js is actually built on top of React with one main goal: to master server-side rendering and SEO. For a real estate platform where speed and search ranking are everything, that specialized focus makes it a clear frontrunner. So you might have noticed a common thread running through our back-end and front-end talks: TypeScript. And this isn't just some developer preference. It's a really strategic move. It's like adding a safety net to your JavaScript code that helps you catch errors before they ever get out into the wild. For a huge, complex platform, that focus on code quality is absolutely essential for keeping things manageable in the long run. All right, let's talk about building an intelligent data strategy, because data is the absolute lifeblood of any real estate platform, but organizing it, that is a huge challenge. I mean, you're juggling everything from user accounts and property photos to complicated neighborhood stats. And this is exactly why a one-size-fits-all database approach just completely falls apart. If you try to cram all these different kinds of data into one type of database, you're going to make huge compromises on performance and flexibility. The best way to do it is what's called polyglot persistence, which is really just a fancy way of saying use the right tool for the right job.
See, real estate data really comes in three main flavors. First, you've got that highly structured transactional data. Think user accounts, payments, stuff that needs to be super consistent. Second, you have flexible content like property listings, which have all sorts of different details and features. And third, you have all these complex interconnected relationships between agents, clients, and properties.
And here's what that right tool for the right job approach looks like in practice. You'd use a relational database like Postgres for all those secure transactions. You'd use a NoSQL database like MongoDB for those flexible property listings. And then you'd use a graph database, something like Neo4j, to brilliantly map out all those complex relationships for things like recommendations and network analysis. So, let's bring it all home. We've just assembled the complete digital blueprint for a truly modern platform, one that is scalable, powerful, and intelligent from the ground up. So just to recap our build, we started with a super flexible foundation of microservices and serverless computing. We powered it with a secure and efficient back-end engine. We built an engaging facade with a performance-first front end, and we organized all its information with an intelligent, hybrid database library. You see how every single piece was chosen to work perfectly with the others? Following this blueprint doesn't just create a robust platform, it creates a future-proof one. But it also provides the perfect stage for whatever that next wave of innovation is. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. With such a solid structure already in place, how will new technologies like generative AI not just add new furniture, but completely reshape the very rooms within? Now, that's a question for the builders of tomorrow.